just took that to heart?
Nope. I struggled with it for about a year and a half.
Oh my God. Why? Why is logic so fucking hard for people?
Because this isn't
So
maybe this could clarify how valid your experience was. Did you have this experience with specifically a Near-Norse pagan god before or after you started looking it up, like researching about, unless you obviously grew up in some Celtic religion?
Oh no, I had
you
been.
also you also understand that certain medications can cause hallucinations. So if you have a thought in your head, let's use for example a clock melting off of a wall. If you have that thought in your head just before the medication kicks in, the medication will make you see that shit.
And we know that brain infections inspire fevers. And when somebody has a fever, they're prone to hallucinations and dreams. Good Jesus fucking Christ! I'm
And the brain
surrounded
is
by.
very, very creative when you let it go.
Yeah, but I'm not
You know
gonna make
what?
the. I'm not
I
gonna
was
make the
actually
case
in a
that you
juvenile.
should believe like I do.
I was in a juvenile facility when I was a teenager that was attached to a psych ward. It was an adult psych ward, and in that psych ward was a man who thought he was an orange. And one of the orderlies told us one day that they drew his blood to check his medication levels, and apparently he drained himself into a glass, and he became a glass of orange juice. And he would try to sleep standing up to the detriment of busting his face on the floor every time he did it, but he wouldn't stop. He kept busting his face on the floor because he was afraid that if he laid down to sleep, he would spill. And you want to tell me that you had a brain infection and quite obviously a fever that comes with that, and that is your justification for believing in a God? And you didn't think to maybe question that at all?
Why do you think? What makes you say that I did not question this?
Because you believe it.
So the only answer to this, to the
How do
question
you
of
demonstrate that
what-
God is real?
what did I experience?
How do you demonstrate that God is real? Right.
How
exactly.
do I
You
See, if I
can't
could do that-
demonstrate that God is real. You're just believing it. You did not question it. You did not build a hypothesis or try to do any fact finding around it. You just assumed that this vision you had while you were under medical distress was real.
So the only way that you could come out of that is to reject it and not embrace it.
Correct. It doesn't comport with logic. I used to suffer from sleep paralysis. You ever heard of this?
No, go right ahead. Tell me.
So sleep paralysis is this kind of it's something that some people deal with. It's a psychological and physical issue where you are having a dream, but you're awake. But you're awake, but your consciousness hasn't caught up with the fact that you're awake. And so you're awake, your eyes are open, and you're still in this kind of like dream state. Sometimes during these episodes, you're having a nightmare. And it's been reported during these states that a demon is attacking you or stuff like that, and they're holding you down. And because your consciousness hasn't caught up to the fact that you're awake, you can't move your body. It feels like you're being held down. This has happened to me several times in life. One of them, the last time it happened, I was 30 some odd, early 30s. I was dreaming about a vampire. She looked very much and I say she, and I'll get to that, but she looked very much like the Bram Stoker's vampire, almost like a blue, grayish skin demon type. Still had a great figure. She was gorgeous, except extremely demonic. And she was holding me down, like she was sitting on top of me. I was half awake, but I could not move my arms or legs. I couldn't move anything. It took an act of everything for me to get my body to move. And I threw a punch at an invisible thing that wasn't there. So does that mean that I should believe in vampires?
How do you feel about it?
No, I shouldn't fucking believe in vampires.
I used to have sleep paralysis, and I had what happened with me.
I'm sorry.
Is I felt a demon biting on the back of my neck and wrapping himself around me and holding me down. This lasted anywhere from a few minutes to 30 minutes of not being able to move and seeing this thing. But I don't believe in demons.
Chloe,
At the time, I did.
do we know that the brain can play tricks on us? Do we know that we can hallucinate?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely, definitely.
Okay, so then how do you know the difference between your hallucination and an actual God?
Because what my hallucination told me was that if you just survive this, there will be nice things after.
Wait, did you just say my hallucination?
How do you know that wasn't a hallucination?
You
I mean, out of
just said
all
my
the things to
hallucination.
hallucinate, out of all the things to hallucinate, survive and hold on, I didn't think were really, bad things to hold on to, especially during,
That's not.
long neuro COVID.
Until you can physically demonstrate that this God is real, you're just making it up. And also, it's a little bit more tragic. And I'm not saying this to be an asshole or to be mean, but you're just appealing to emotion with this. That's all this is.
So I
And if
think
you don't feel
what
pulled
Ethan just said is kind of
practice-
the epitome of why your belief system falls apart. Because I don't know why people think that everyone's opinions and feelings are so valid when it comes to like our endeavor to understand truth. The scientists have already discovered, like I think it was Francis Bacon that said, we have to peer review. Everyone has to come to the same conclusions. We can use different methodologies to research things, but we have to come to the same conclusion. So if every person has hallucinations and meet different things in some, you for example entered some meta-divine realm that you've described, that does not make it part of reality. That's just your experience. That doesn't make it a fact.
Yeah, every human being on earth that understands mathematics is going to tell you that 1 + 1 = 2. But what you're talking about is a personal experience based on a fever dream you had while you were sick. How many other people on earth experienced something completely different? Does that make all of those claims true?
There are people that have fully believed in any deity, almost died and came back and said, "Yeah, I was completely wrong." And then there's also people who have done the exact opposite, who didn't believe in God, almost died, came back and said, "Yeah, there's a God out there."
So
It's it is
So
subjective to the person and delusions.
I have schizoaffective bipolar type 1. I used to have all kinds of auditory hallucinations, visual hallucinations, paranoia. I mean, you name it, I had it, right? I learned from that not to trust my own mind, but to question things. So it's kind of coming from a place of privilege to just say, oh, okay, well, I saw it in my mind, so it's true, because that doesn't work for everyone.
no, it doesn't, and I'm not advocating that it works for anyone, that it works for other people.
Well, then you can't advocate for this as a truth claim.
Well, what I'm advocating is that I get something out of it. I get something out of practice with these gods.
As I've stated repeatedly in multiple lives, I don't care about people's personal beliefs so long as they only apply those personal beliefs to their person. It's irrelevant. Your beliefs, if you apply your beliefs to solely yourself and nobody else, then you're not negatively impacting anybody else.
So let me ask you this, because I want to get to the heart of my issue here. You are a secular humanist, right?
Correct.
You're also anti-theist.
Correct. And a Satanist, and an atheist, and an agnostic.
But do you not understand how the pluralism inherent in secular humanism contradicts and conflicts with your anti-theism?
No, it doesn't. My anti-theism is purely philosophical. I don't make truth claims.
So you don't think that, so when you, for you, if I say that we should do something nice for the poor because Jesus said so,
I'm going to say,
you know
fuck
what,
you. I'm going to do shit nice for the poor because I want to do shit nice for the poor. Fuck Jesus.
but are you going to yell at me though? Is that really where you're going to go with it?
Yep. Because intent matters. The reasons we do things matters. If you're doing something because an authority figure told you to, you're not doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for selfish fear.
Wait. Fear. But what if it's not fear, but rather just the excitement of being able to do it?
You're still doing
If you're
something that
telling me it's
someone
for
else told you
Jesus,
to do it.
yeah, if
Yeah,
you're
but
telling
how
me
is
it's
that
for
any
Jesus,
different
Don't
than?
need
if you're
Jesus for
telling
that.
me it's for Jesus, then it's out of fear. Religion is a carrot stick kind of thing. It's an authority said this, you do that. I
Yeah,
don't
but do you
think that
realize
I
that
don't
not every
necessarily
religion
believe.
works like that?
I don't think I don't necessarily believe that the ends justify the means. There's got to be some kind of positive intent behind your action.
Can you
Do
give
you
an
know what
example of
mitzvot
a
are?
theistic? Wait, Chloe, can you give an example of a theistic religion that doesn't do that?
Do what exactly?
Impose fear or some threat instead
Judaism?
of following. So, do you think that Jews don't have any threat if they don't follow the commandments of the Torah?
No,
Correct.
Jews do not have any threat. There is no carrot stick aspect of Judaism, but that doesn't mean Judaism is right either. There's a large portion of Judaism that is misogynistic, slightly, to some degree, racist. There are issues in Judaism, but the carrot stick isn't part of it.
I'm pretty sure the Torah has a lot of punishments which it prescribes. I'm not saying that everyone. Yeah,
Oh
I'm
no,
not saying that some.
those would be like human punishments for human behavior, but there's
Yeah,
no
of course.
afterlife punishment.
Yeah. No, I'm not speaking about eschatology. It's just like the Torah has punishments for not following the Torah.
There are punishments in Judaism, yes.
Yeah, stoning, burning, decapitation,
Yeah, so I mean,
strangulation.
that's nothing for some.
You're
Like,
not supposed to wholeheartedly agree with the Torah. You're supposed to argue and wrestle with God.
okay, but we're not now discussing like Judaism. I'm just looking for. You said there are religions, theistic religions, that don't incorporate some punishment or fear.
Correct. And Norse paganism is one of them. I mean, they have the.
You've clearly not researched Norse paganism.
It's wholesale unnecessary. It's just unnecessary. And it diminishes what it means to be human to appeal to a fucking god, especially one you can't demonstrate as true. And as far as I remember, and I'm no expert in paganism, but Odin's a fucking asshole.
That's why I don't work with Odin.
He's a miserable, horrible fucking god that was brutal and mean and uncaring. Same goes
Son of Odin, you might want to.
all of those gods are like that. All of the original gods that humans created were capable of absolute fucking madness. I mean, Saturn was literally fucking insane. He ate his own fucking children. Like, none of these myths are worth an ounce of shit. And they diminish you as a person because instead of taking credit for your own strength, you're just handing it off to this myth you can't prove. You should be better off being confident in yourself, understanding your own personal strengths, and running with that instead of placating to an authority figure.
Why?
Okay, so with Norse paganism, there are multiple different belief structures that range from time, location, and social group. Okay, after in Norse paganism, when you die or after you've died, assuming that there is a soul, assuming that your soul is then subject to whatever the Norse paganism pantheon decides to do with you. This can include you going to Valhalla, hell, a realm for those who die of natural causes, and living on physicality in the landscape. The
So a lot of this is actually up in the air because this is all speculation based on
yeah.
half truths from myths that don't want to explain themselves.
But my point is, you asked me why. Why should you have better mental health? Are you seriously asking me that question?
I'm asking, why should I be anti-theist? Why should I give up? Why should I give up the things that theism has given me?
Better mental health. You can do it on your own. You don't need theism.
Yeah, but I was an atheist for 22 years, and it just didn't work out for me.
Well, if it's working for you, then great, dandy.
And
Because
that's
Don't
an
use it to
argument.
make
That's an argument
lies.
we hear from a lot of Christians.
Yeah,
Is
I don't
that, oh,
believe
I
people when they
used to
say
be
they
an
used to
atheist,
be
now I'm
atheists.
religious.
Yeah, I don't believe people who say they used to be
True
atheists
atheist.
and now they're theist. And the reason I don't believe that claim is because atheism is a lack of belief in a God due to insufficient evidence. And Chloe, your evidence is insufficient.
well, no, it's personal experience. It's
Yeah, that's still not
non-transmissible.
evidence.
It's not transmissible for other people.
It's
It's
still
perfectly
not
acceptable for
evidence.
myself.
It's still not
Yeah, it's
evidence.
It's
subjective.
not
Yeah,
transmissible, then
but
why
I'm
did
not
you
telling
even
you
mention
to
it?
worship. I'm telling you that I had this experience and now I do
And I've
this.
explained to you what that experience likely was. And instead of accepting that as a possibility, you out of hand reject it. And to
No,
make
no, no. I
matters worse,
reject
you
the
did not do
implication.
tests. You did not do experiments. You did not fact find. Did you talk to a neurologist? Did you
Yes,
talk
I
to
had
a
an MRI.
psychologist about this?
I had an MRI.
I didn't.
Yes, I did talk to a neurologist.
And what did the neurologist say? Did the neurologist say, yep, for sure, Odin exists?
Tests come back normal. Everything seems fine.
At the time you were sick, dude.
Yes.
And what did the neurologist say? That Odin exists?
No, tests look normal. Everything looks fine. Even
When you
though
were
you're
sick.
really sick, you're not, there's nothing coming up. There's nothing coming up in any of your blood work.
So you weren't sick.
I was sick.
That's
Wait,
blood
how
work.
did they make the diagnosis if your bloods came back normal and your MRI came back normal?
Yeah, but I
That
spent
Yeah,
4 days in a psych ward over this.
this is
I'm not a
also
doctor, but I'm pretty sure you need
that's not
something to
that's not a
diagnose
brain
someone.
infection. And brain infection doesn't put you in a psych ward. A brain infection puts you in the ICU.
Oh, that would be nice. But
At least like your lymphocytes had to be up if you had a brain infection. Like I'm not a biologist or anything. It's just like this is general knowledge, dude.
And if you have a brain infection, that means you have a fever. There's something wrong in your blood. If the doctor told you that there's nothing wrong with you, you didn't have a brain infection.
But I was hallucinating. I was having.
So your brain was doing goofy shit, which is a sign of a mental illness or a mental breakdown. It's not a sign of an infection. Obviously, if the doctor said your blood work is fine, then it's just your brain cracking under some kind of emotional pressure.
Do you know what long COVID is?
Yes.
Yes.
You do know that that can cause limbic encephalitis.
Okay.
That's what I had.
Great. That doesn't prove Odin. In fact, that's actually
No,
a
no, no,
statement-
no, 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 no. It
That's
doesn't
actually
prove
a
Odin
statement.
because I'm
That's
not
actually
trying to
hold on.
prove
That's
Odin.
actually a statement against your case
Why do you think I'm trying to prove Odin to you?
because that's what you said you were trying to do.
No, I'm trying to prove that this has meaning to me. And that you shouldn't be so anti-theist. And that you're
Well, if it
anti-theism.
has meaning to you, that's to your personal self. Why does it matter what somebody else believes?
Yeah. Why is my being
Because-
an anti-theist a problem for you?
Because you're bringing people up and then you're basically haranguing. You care more about me being religious than I care about me being religious.
No. I care more about the harm that people do under those religious guidelines.
Exactly.
So why do
I
you
don't
think
give-
it's
I don't-
unique to
I don't-
religion and not
I don't
just something
personally
human?
give. I don't personally give two fucks if you believe in a god. I don't care. You believing in a god innately doesn't impact anybody, provided
what-
you only apply that faith to yourself and nobody else.
Why are you so
Yeah, and
angry about God?
What are
I'm
the,
not
What are
angry.
the odds? What are the odds that you would hallucinate Odin or whoever versus any other god? Like, why didn't a different god show up?
That's a
And
good
I'm-
question, and I don't know.
I'm not angry.
I just want to say something real quick, Ethan, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
And I'm not actually going against your argument because, like, I mean, I'm one of those that, I'm a Norse pagan myself, but I'm not going to, come attack somebody because they're atheist or Satanist or whatever the case may be. Because me personally, I'm open to any new knowledge that's out there.
For him, you
Honestly, I
got to
really
mute your
am.
mic for me, please.
Me?
No.
For him.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
For him,
Good
12.
evening.
I need you to mute your mic for a little bit. You're making too much background noise.
Okay, I will do that. Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, I thought maybe it was me.
Sorry, son of
No,
Odin.
it's
Go
okay.
ahead.
It's okay. I thought it was me.
Oh shit, I didn't realize you were here.
Who?
Son of Odin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you from my lives, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Which lives? Maybe I've caught some of your lives and I just didn't realize it.
Well, this is my backup account. My main is Full Stack Shannon with a picture of me with red hair.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Well, now I just said you follow. I didn't realize it was your backup account.
Finish what you were saying.
But I mean, I'm literally open to all kinds of new information and different aspects of different religions, and I get your point about how religion has caused a lot of chaos in man itself. I completely, wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, look at what Christianity's done over the years.
Well, I mean,
Anything that has to do with religion is literally.
It's not just Christianity. Keep in mind, Christianity is not the only religion that's guilty of this shit. But let's do a hypothetical really quick. What would happen if you traded roles with Norse pagans and Christians? What if Norse paganism was the biggest religion in the world? Do you think it might lead to some harm? Do you think mob mentality would take over and they'd start doing some crazy shit?
Very possibly, yes. I completely agree with you.
Because they make truth claims that are patently untrue. That's what religion does. And it leads to harm over time.
So, I mean, me in a way, like I said, I'm open to all opinions, all, whatever, because me personally, I mean, I grew up Southern Baptist. I went to church every Sunday, every Wednesday, like religiously, constantly, every freaking week. Okay. I was kind of forced into that whole lifestyle. And being brought up Southern Baptist, they literally demonize women.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Pretty much any Christian faith does that. It's like women shouldn't even be the same place as a man. And I could not even agree with that shit. I just couldn't. I'd rather my wife be the same as me in the same area, because to me personally, she has the same authority as I do.
I was in a debate with a Muslim woman that lived in Canada. She's not culturally Muslim. She's not from a Muslim country. She's actually Canadian. And she converted to Islam under the pretense of emotional distress, which is what usually happens. She outright advocated for being stoned to unalive if she ever cheated on her husband. She full-fledged took all of it. She literally not referenced herself, but basically leveled herself as livestock.
What's scary is that there are actually women out there that will advocate for women to do exactly as that those types of people have deemed it so. Like women staying in the kitchen, they're only to speak when spoken to. They are objects, not people. They are property, not people. There are women out there that will vouch for that, and it's like, wait, you're actually supporting this idea?
Yeah, it's Stockholm.
I had something happen.
So I just want to bring up a point.
It's Stockholm syndrome at its core, is really what it comes down to.
So and that's what I can't agree with that. I can't. I don't see the point in that, because I mean that's literally what that Christianity does, and from what I understand, Muslim does the same thing too.
Yep. And they marry children. They advocate they both advocate for child marriage.
Yeah, something happened to me.
I cannot get behind. I'm sorry. No.
Something happened to me, and they told me it was my fault because I'm a stumbling block for men with the way I dress.
Are you kidding me with that?
No, so that's a common Christian belief.
Victim blaming.
Yeah, victim blaming is big. Chloe, what'd you have to say?
Wow.
So I think this is where I'm going to this is my last point, and this is where I'm going to drop off because I've got somewhere to be in 20 minutes. If I said eugenics is bad, you would agree with me on this, right?
Yeah, causes harm.
So you would tell me that someone who is pro eugenics is a bad person.
Or just very misinformed.
Or just very misinformed.
Okay, so you mean to tell me that, and this is my argument against anti-theism. This is not my argument against atheism, because I have no arguments and quarrels with atheism. My problem with anti-theism is that being anti-theist doesn't prevent you from falling into some pretty bad ideas, because guess who just came out in favor of eugenics? But Richard Dawkins.
Okay,
Richard Dawkins isn't necessarily an anti-theist. He's an atheist. And also, as I've already stated repeatedly, my anti-theist argument is philosophical. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, and
how
your
many
philosophy,
times do I have to repeat a fucking point before people get it?
but your
Also,
philosophy is wrong because it doesn't
It's not
lead-
hold
wrong.
on.
Because
Okay,
that which can
just
be
because-
asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. And the lack of evidence for a God is evidence of the lack of a God. That's
But
my
you
position
can't-
on anti-theism.
But you can't prove harm based on based on just the God doesn't
No,
exist.
because anti-theism has nothing to do with harm.
So anti-theism, so you do not oppose theism on the basis of harm at all.
Yes, of course I do. But that's humanism, and secularism has nothing to do with anti-theism. It has nothing to do with atheism either, because neither one of these are moral positions. Anti-theism and atheism do not make moral proclamations. They're just simply a position on a topic or subject. It has nothing to do with anything philosophical, or, well, not necessarily philosophical, but it has nothing to do with like moral claims.
What I'm saying is that you can't paint all theists with a broad brush. What I'm saying is that you can't paint all
Can
theists
everyone
with a
mute?
broad brush.
He's having they are having connection issues.
I think they got a phone call.
So
Yeah, I got a
Chloe,
phone
say
call
it again.
You can't paint
I
all
can't paint
theists
with a broad brush, right?
Yeah, you can't paint with a broad brush and say that because some theists are bad and some theists get up to harmful things.
No, it's not
that all
theists.
theism-
Oh man, why do I have to explain every tiny detail? So I don't blame
Because-
Christians for being Christian. By the majority of them are victims of bad ideas. They're either indoctrinated into it, or at some point in time, religion abused them or got a hold of them at an emotional low in their life. So I don't necessarily blame Christians for being Christian. I do, however, blame the theology itself for inspiring the shittiest behavior in mankind. There's
What
a
I'm telling
passage,
you is that that's not true.
there's
That
a
is
passage
the
in the
shittiest
Bible.
behavior in
Hold on.
mankind happens regardless of religion.
Stop. There's a passage in the Bible, Numbers 31. God commands the Israelites to go amongst this other tribe and unalive every man, every woman who has ever known a man, every young boy, but keep for themselves the virgin girls. So not only is he advocating for genocide, he's advocating for child sex trafficking and child marriage. To their captors, mind you. There's no even opportunity to build a relationship here. They just have to marry their captors. And
Right.
that,
And in the Jewish tradition, you're not supposed to agree with it.
I don't care. I'm not
That's
talking
what the-
about
that's the
Judaism.
context of the book,
I'm not
though.
talking about Judaism. I'm talking about Christianity. Why do you keep giving me whataboutism arguments? Because in the
that's
state
not
of
the
Missouri,
context of the text that you're giving
in
me.
the state of Missouri, just a few months ago, Democrats tried raising the minimum age of consent to marry to 18, and Republican Christians voted it down to maintain it at the age of 12. And in at least 5 or 6 states in the United States, and they're all Republican, Christian conservative states, there is no minimum age for marriage of consent or consent to marry. And so children have been
Alabama
married
is one
off.
of them.
Children at the age of 6 have been married off to grown-ass adults in their 30s because of the Christian faith and because of the justification given for it in the Bible.
So that should be more universal among the Christian faith. And not say universal
No,
among the
because if there's
southern.
220 million different Christians in the United States, then you effectively have 220 million different denominations of Christianity. Because even two Christians that attend the same church aren't going to agree on scripture 100%.
So how are you able to paint with a broad brush that this is what happens when you have Christianity?
I
When
do not
you
have
don't
the
have
ability. I do not have the
History.
ability to address 220 million separate fucking Christians on this platform. I don't even have the patience to do that. So what do? I base it off of what is continuously reliable. The chair I'm sitting in is continuously reliable. It holds my weight. Science is continuously reliable, considering it controls every single aspect of your, or benefits every single aspect of your life. What is religion continuously reliable at? In the whole history of humanity, for as long as we've been recording our history, what is the one thing Christianity or any religion, all religion, has been reliable at doing? Unaliving people. That's what it does. It inspires death and suffering. That's it.
The same could be said about technology.
No, the same cannot be said about technology, because
Do you
technology.
not remember World War One?
Stop. Technology is what made your medicine better. Technology is what made your food better. Technology is what made your transportation better. Technology is the reason why our life expectancy is longer. Technology is the reason why you're more comfortable, why you have entertainment and communication and transportation, etc.
Technology is the reason why you're not
I'm
speaking
gonna-
German right now.
Technology is the reason why your life is better than it would have been otherwise, say 50 or 100 years ago.
And the reason why it's better is that we dumped a bunch of money into the military-industrial complex,
Cry about it.
and that's and it
I
was
don't
to
give a
unalive
fuck.
people.
I don't give a fuck. It literally has nothing to do with this conversation.
Yes, it does, because it shows that drive to unalive people
I was in the
can come from
army.
anywhere.
I was in the army. Do you want to know what I had in my first week of basic training?
Do you know where I was born?
I had a priest, that a chaplain, an army chaplain, come in and tell us that it's okay, even though God tells you not to unalive people, it's okay to do it in the name of your country. So there's religion for you. Even in the military, it fucks off and does dumb shit.
I
that's
was
why a real
literally
Christian don't
born
do that.
on Ellsworth Air Force Base.
Great. That's
So
okay.
I've been in the military. I know the military.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know that's what you're going to hear, because
served
that's
in the
what your
military?
job is as a soldier.
You served in the military?
I've been around the military since I was
Yeah,
literally
that's not the
born.
same as being in the military.
So what? At this point, I literally have 10 minutes to make it to something, and I am so
Well,
sorry.
I invite you to go to that something, because this is a fruitless conversation that means absolutely jack shit. I have now wasted 30 minutes of my fucking life that I will never get back.
That
Talking
dude's
about Wood,
What's up, man? How you doing?
living the dream. Living the
My
dream.
service. It sounds like you living the dream over here, man. A man with many patients, I see.
Yeah.
Now,
To my own personal
I don't know, man. You know,
chagrin.
I mean, you're not very man, you know, and I see where you're coming from on a lot of things, you know, and
Sorry,
Hey,
Wood, hold on,
Christianity
pause,
and
man.
stuff.
Hold on, pause.
look,
Wood, you got to pause, man. You're breaking in and out really bad, like you got bad connection.
Oh, I thought that was just me. I wasn't sure.
I'll wait until I get better service up the road here.
All right.
Wait, does that mean you're driving?
Yeah, it sounds like they are. That's
Hey, what's up in your mind, Tones?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can.
All right. So, I grew up Mormon, Latter-day Saint, right?
I'm so sorry.
I am so
LDS.
sorry.
LDS. Oh boy.
I stepped away in 2019, and it's been an interesting journey. But one of the big things I've come down to is with religion versus science is, let's say you got rid of every book in the world, Bibles, Quran, science books, every single book in the world, could just get rid of it all. and you start all over again. Everything scientific you could reproduce with the same exact steps, and everybody who does that experiment will get the same exact results, and you'll be able to reproduce those science books all over again. When it
Correct.
comes to God or
It would be completely
spiritual
different
things,
built.
everybody
Yeah.
would have different results every
Yep.
single time. It is
Exactly.
completely not reproducible.
Oh, I agree.
And so I'm curious to hear from you guys, like as far as Odin or you know, Judaism or whatever, like how can you reproduce any of this? You say I had a
Well,
near-death experience, or I did this and I saw this and he came to me and showed me. Well, I mean, nobody else saw it. You saw one thing that nobody else could ever reproduce, and you can't even reproduce that on demand.
yeah.
It's everybody's own personal, like Ethan said, and I actually agree
Whoever's
with him.
talking, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I must have my phone too far away from me. Sorry about that. But what Ethan was saying about what that other guy that was up here about when he was sick, I mean, the brain can do a lot of crazy things to you when you're sick like that. It can mess with you.
He apparently wasn't even sick. He was apparently just having a mental break. Remember, he said that the doctors said that there
okay.
was nothing wrong, that he was fine, but he was having hallucinations and all this other stuff. And he said that he spent like 4 days in a psych ward.
Oh, I missed that.
And granted, now here's the thing about this is that he said that it was that according to blood work.
Oh,
You know,
and he had an MRI.
Yeah.
Anyways, wow.
Yeah.
I must have stepped away from him because I was helping my wife with something. I didn't catch that part of the conversation. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
But I mean, honestly, I mean, the subconscious mind itself can do a lot of amazing things, and sometimes it can do crazy things. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
it's you know, I mean, it's everybody's own personal experience. I mean, everybody has their own experience with their own, you know, what they see and what they don't, and everybody has their own experience with what they experience in that time. You know.
Yeah, like for me, I I like the idea of the fact that we get reincarnated every year. I mean, every lifetime, and we learn new lessons in each, and it explains why bad things happen because we're learning from that experience. But you know, the person gets something better in the next life, and then we become enlightened and we go join this matter and energy.
It's
That's pure
absolutely
knowledge.
reincarnation is absolutely worthless if you can't remember your previous life.
Oh yeah, no, I think that like you have a soul and only part of your soul goes into each body. But again, this is all freaking hypothetical, and I'm pretty sure none of it's real.
Yeah, because you look
So, Wood, what's on your mind, man? Can you talk yet?
Yeah, I can talk, man.
All right, what's up?
I was just, I've been hearing a lot of things, religion and stuff like that, and I agree about religion, man. It's a man-made thing, and it's caused a lot of different things. But as long as man walks this earth, there's always going to be a lot of war and greed and everything, because that's man's heart. That's what men do.
Not
And
necessarily.
not every man, but there are people.
We can educate and we can learn from our mistakes. We don't have to repeat the history all the fucking time. And it's asinine that we do. It's asinine. Every major empire on Earth has fallen for one of three reasons. And if you get rid of natural disasters, you only have two left. And those two are unfettered greed by an elite class and religion. Those are the two things that have collapsed every human empire ever to have existed. And we can deal with both of them, but we can't do it through mysticism and bullshit. We need to do it through critical thinking skills and education and understanding the nature of reality and respecting each other.
I agree with you, and we are repeating our mistakes because we don't We don't teach the real
Those who
things that
don't
happen.
learn from the past are doomed to repeat it.
I was just fixing to
Exactly.
say that. I was just
Right.
fixing to say that, Coffee.
What was your question?
Earlier when I was listening, was it you that were saying you were a whole bunch of things like a Satanist or atheist?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I don't get. Like, so
What is
Satan,
what is
where did you
Satanism?
come to
What
learn
is
about
what
Satan?
is
What
hold on.
I'm asking you, that's what
What
I'm
is
asking you.
Satanism?
Where'd you
I'm asking you, what do you think Satanism is?
Satanism? It's more about self. It's more about, everything is because of me and everything that happens is me. It's me. It's all about self. Because if you
Well,
look at it,
that's some part of Satanism, but it's not the whole of Satanism.
right, there's a lot more to it, and there's a lot more that you'll ever learn unless you keep going deeper down the roots.
But
I've studied it all.
it's civil rights. That's technically what it breaks down to. You have two fundamental concepts of Satanism. You have the Church of Satan, started by Anton LaVey in the 1960s,
Yeah.
and that's more about worshiping yourself as a god. And then you have the Satanic Temple, which was started in the early 2000s by Lucian Greaves, which is more of a civil rights organization. Neither of
Okay.
them believe in a literal Satan, by the way.
Then why do they call themselves after that? Like,
Because the definition, the
Studied
Hebrew
Hebrew.
words,
Yeah, I could
the
actually.
Hebrew,
Sorry.
the Hebrew word Satan translates to the adversary.
adversary, yes, I
And
know.
with the Church of Satan, Lucian agrees with the adversary of
God.
no, not God. No. The
Lucifer was
establishment.
the
He was the
adversary.
adversary of the establishment.
Not necessarily, anyways.
No, not
There
Lucifer. Hold
are
on, wait. No, not Lucifer. Hold on. Whoa. Not Lucifer.
yeah, no.
Lucifer has nothing to do with the devil. Lucifer is not the devil.
Lucifer's not the
That is
adversary,
a misconception. No, Lucifer is not the adversary. Lucifer has
but
nothing to do with the devil. Is not even
but
related to it.
but from the evidence that I've come across in the Bible, it says that. So that's what I have to base it off of.
Where in the
hold
Bible
on,
does it
hold
say
on.
that? Hold on. Where in the Bible
Sorry.
does it say Lucifer is the devil?
Lucifer, it talks about Lucifer being the adversary of Satan.
No, it
He is
doesn't.
Satan.
No, it
It
isn't.
doesn't?
It
Do
does
you
not say
know
that in
where
Scripture.
I'm gonna have to
Lucifer
go
is
get the
addressed in the Bible? Like, do you know what part of the Bible even mentions Lucifer?
hold on. Yeah, right now I will get my Bible in just a
Can I,
second
can
when I
I
print this paper.
can I answer this question,
Yeah, go ahead.
please?
Go for it.
Lucifer